Buenas dan half a day. Go si JC umbiay talo malata tasagis ti podcast with na no momento no za sti articulus yan ni manuhusog pago na tempo pero sti zi mafananan Rika za pura sti siya no abbreviation no tanto zi pars tasempia gayo yung kilisdano na lani no sen menalum na tauto por sti sa moski 20 años at somnik sti siya sempita na tungal zi mafananan downwinders kumune kung kistiki radio panenega Facebook but masya manugato nunga si downwinders no when building downwinders no it's not downwinders it's downwinders zanu stina semplicisus ti zanu ti zahon bebe costa mas tempo maladata na kwento sti bisitaw za sti gini ni corazon sti dido gi corazon is my honor and my pleasure para te presenta si Robert Celestio za porut za guidata ekungok na tungwit hafa du putsi posisyon gini zan haji gu istina tautos Robert Celestio bulan tauto tumungo lo para ti tumungo buenas and half a day Robert.
Buenas and half a day chalo. Yeah, go si Robert Celestio president in PARS Pacific Association for Radiation Survivors. Then acronym RICA, Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. Mapasas din na line 1990 po na compensate ito siya the Estados Unidos sa matotsi ni radiation fallout sa napakpag bulang bomba na yung nuclear weapons pero hita ginigid sa Guam manahatot todo yung informasyon na top secret cleared sa timat pumana sangani todo itatagwam na pumana from 1946 to 1962 nginon hasutati isinya maluma isinya mutama gini selata sa inisita security clearance sa commander is in a tempo Guiza magas Marshall Islands is in a tempo 46 to 62 pumana 66 nuclear bombs it's in a isla Marshall Islands but it's in a tempo di mamala todo veneno in Marshall Islands so Soda is in a tauta Lieutenant Bert Schreiber Tauta Texas Guiza radiological chemical biological officer gini Nimitz Hill so zonia equipment Geiger counters di pumana soda todo veneno It's asangani commander is in 1952 na in the Sonia na Mangeret sa asoda radiation ginigid slata lo masangani total commander na hanu tati po jamu jamu it's huge na tempo dan munga masangani nasa office you're under a Q clearance. It's in a tempo Atomic Energy Commission in charge of all the nuclear testings had a top secret clearance. So Guiza si Lieutenant Bert Schreiber was under a Q clearance. So tisinya nahudong istin na informasyon sa masangani na ingin asangani auto or masaji sinya mapreso sinya mapaki. So na si Lieutenant Bert Schreiber sa Ifanena na usada human radiation experiments advisory committee si Dr. Ruth Baden from Johns Hopkins University si President Clinton he declassified all the agencies in the US government and when that happened the Department of Energy released in their website all the declassified documents top secret all the information about everything that happened within the United States and Guam and the Marshall Islands. Ingano soda todo este information na ukoi todo sa benai imaga lahi in the tempo dani legislatura dani congression si Madeline Bordallo sa they na hutsa information sa ma-declassify then Faisen si Lieutenant Bert Schreiber Casino na sworn testimony sa ingin Yalam Zonia sworn testimony like niya I worried about the people of Guam because they're all going to get affected by nuclear fallout. And I couldn't say anything, but my Geiger counters were going off the scale. The 3 days prior to that, the first hydrogen bomb, a 10.5 megaton, was detonated in Inuitak Atoll. And 3 days later, he detected high levels of radiation falling on the island of Guam. So it's sworn testimony. I worried about the people of Guam that they're drinking from water cisterns, todo iti pamanakano, todo papaza, and todo hapanak siya sa ayade. So it's information una koi todo and unai a 4-page report i maga lawyers in a tempo than legislatura then also na kusing na hamzo na on spiasti na information sa I thought their arms reached further than mine. All I did was the research, and in my research I was hoping that Fino Chamoru, I was so ignorant on politics and government issues, and in 2001 I was hoping that our government would take the lead, move forward, and help the people of Guam. So,
First time minister na klase.
information. So,
on sa dito patsag ano gi ane declassify President Clinton na tempo no.
right.
Sibon mo na todo the information ni siya ma-release para i-publiko para matungo. Maladata na siya di atapti di experiment siya gi nuclear weapons, if you will, ni manu i bomba para afekta itaw-taw siya. Amano watos tin lugar na matsawid na experimentation disti 1946 disti 1962. Gwini gi Pacific na isla siya.
Those na atolls, Namagan atolls, the Marshall Islands, Bikini Atoll, and Inuitak Atoll. So, 23 na bomba manapagpag Bikini Island, then 43 nuclear bombs manapagpag Inuitak Atoll. About gano Inuitak 1977, bago na sabag Sibisyo, then una gasgas dan una hatsay di dome. Ang bisbaw mapatsil din nga nabubinenog sa Inuitak Atoll. Lo put eno na uspias definena uspipia na put mouths and todo ko ikonomo i Sibisyo na. Lo usodda half bula puppet dokumento put Guam. Then edina utaka sa uspia lana office lana ti masangane na matatsit gini slata sa bula mamalong tansit ni Guam panan hunggan ay sinya peso na danay dos say lani bebe na like no sisti bebe sangani i magalahi sa todo siya lo untung afa makatazi Department of Energy mahasas the Department of Energy Sabah Atomic Energy Commission,
Right.
okay. The Department of Energy space i Congression Guam, makatazi Department of Energy, bes mapaisen ko sinya onayit mas na information. Bes the Department of Energy hired 2 experts, Dr. Terry Hamilton and Dr. Luke Halifax. Bes makatazi i legislatura manay dos na report. Damasangani na Guam's too far. Tisinya man matutodo i baneno gini sa Guam. Then i gobyerno Guam timanayo is in a report after 2 years. Bes masangani mga mahonggi si Robert. Don't nga Usodda is the director a Board of Radiation Effects Research Committee. So in 2002, mapasa ilagay Estados Unidos i congression na kosinya mapaisa ni National Academies of Science. Kosinya na investigate todos the Estados Unidos Kuzung and Spia Haji Talut and Halum Estina Programa, the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act. Tama midnight 2000 is man Halum tres na status Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. Downwinders. So the man Halum, New Mexico, Idaho, and Guam. That it's in a tempunay after Sao na unai todo essa informação por magalahi dan legislatura. No 2002, mapasa talo uno na line. Na masangani in National Academy of Science, sige hudun dan spia haji talo pina na halum sa haji talo man malongo siya ki status. So does si Dr. Isab Nabusi stabag Idaho. And hudun public hearing. Pero faisen si Dr. Isab Nabusi kasi niya magtubuang masanganin na taza sa lapi. Di siya. So ayade. Pero ma-email jo dan ma faisen no kosinya ko fatu gi Washington DC March 2004 and may na testimony pro dan written testimony. Pero sungan na so we formed a Pacific Association Radiation Survivors in Tepu. So we had fundraisers, todo, we got visita sa lapid.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so we flew out there. We hired a Dr. William Brady up in Nevada. He's a retired health physicist. In the beginning, I gave him all our reports, all the information. I mailed it to him. He called me up and he said, Robert, I'll represent Guam. We just see Mr. Brady retired from the National Academies of Science. He received the highest scientific award prior to that. And so he said, I'll represent Guam if you pay all my expenses. So we did. We went to Washington, D.C. We testified before the National Academies of Science. Unai todo i-documentu Lieutenant Bert Schreiber's sworn testimony. And si Mr. William Brady, bisan mas importante sa ani todo i scientist na hunggan magait esti na information than pega itomo report pes na halong Guam pes a year later they published in the libro the assessment of the scientific information for the radiation exposure screening and education program. And on page 200, Toto Guam Haso Este, page 200, it reads conclusion. As a result of its analysis, the committee concludes that Guam did receive measurable fallout from atmospheric testings of the nuclear weapons in the Pacific. Residents of Guam during that period should be eligible for compensation under RICA in a way similar to that of persons considered to be downwinders. So it's already in black and white. The National Academies of Science submitted this report to Congress from their request what other geographical areas to include in the RICA program. So we were recommended, Guam was recommended to be included in the radiation exposure compensation.
Comprende, no? Malata ba na tunga, sti mani ekungog, no? Dan mani ega, Robert, na stagay na lu interview put esti taktigi antis esti 2021 na amendment ni Proma Pega Harlem. Lusti siya na amendment sa sige na mentamo na mentas manahano enti mas matungo. No taza mas gini na hasu ni di high level security clearance disti 1946 na sakan stay 1962. Sige pagun tatungo irason na that would be the reason why we have that security clearance, because for the experimentation ni matutugi papagi marshals ni Tigos na Antonio sasangan lo kumunatan dati ipinadesi después igera no 2 anos sa makpo igera na matutuho ni Jonyan no experimentation jagin na tempo even Nevada gwa siya footage gi malmo YouTube na di toto Nevada ni maatan na explode atomic bomb for Malia zona effects, and you could the dark cloud mushroom it was just breathtaking to say the least. lo kalantay na luhana lo ni pesagin tay no siya na klasin artikulo ng klasin bomba siya ma-detonate gigwat gi sa Marshall Islands tawza pratasin ngoni na nu Timor no gat gi zahita lo zigi nu kalan na man zi hafan na paron masangani na mga mahunggi si Robert lati just Brady hafan no na no tisina no da ti David usangan ang ginasta po matret na zi kilis zanon nila usod da sti zaungan da masangani pa makilo patsap niya sa izon na security clearance ti David open to sa pamikilo patsap mo otherwise sinabanti mapakyaw lo bula siya mana atuk na no lo pinadesi gino magigi Pacifico na banda Kuentos Guåhan dadzi dos anusa na magpuigera pesa continue agi mo na ipinadesi mentres itaw ta makikitsagi pero masulit at tilinala niya después itempon sa panis lo sige na man gwana benon hason ni tumay mamanuna gwana data comprenda na experimental stage lo uno na question be fashion anima bomb hapon titu honya i downwinder ni pertafan ni Nazi anima bomb hapon yadi dos di Hiroshima dan jo tuna
Nagasaki lo izin na klasin bomba dikiki izin na bomba izin nuclear bomb compared to the Inuitak than Bikini Island.
10 megatons, right?
Right. Lo it 19 kilotons. Edi mana pakpak di Hiroshima and Nagasaki. 19 kilotons. Eda bahasa kilotons. Lo gini Inuitak than Bikini Island. Tipereo i nuclear bomb than hydrogen bomb. Edi mana pakpak i hydrogen bomb. Like niya 10,000 times stronger than the Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb. That 19 kilotons compared to 10 megatons is a big difference. And the one they detonated in Japan was a nuclear bomb. There's a difference between fission and fusion. And I don't want to get into that. It's but hydrogen bomb is a lot.
Way above my head. No,
it's above my head too. Yeah.
The point that we're trying to make is the experiment with the gonna be na igastos sa human life gonna be na banmanila dibidi. Lo going back na si tikitso wistin ni gagipagi para atan given ni Congress of America. STE RICA na programa ni para ma-amendi pero manakahulo inapas para di siya maninafekta. Lo antes ita fakto gano guaha siya no artikulo wihi ni at pinpoint put si hafa na klasin setnut piori kangsit hafa na klasin kategoryo gi kangsit sinya maklama ni itaw-taw ta kumu taiguhi man ni Nazi. Pessoa atan sti uno na no webpage dan no lana na pasalista papa na kinubri todo the stomach cancers, the breast cancer, the kumunsen na taneno bingo kana todo bitaw tauta no guaha tiningo niya o siya man ni Nazi na do siya na klasen concept. Is it safe to assume gifino Inglaterra na no adusan na kadagoryo that's finite to matulay ka na kadagoryo but mendi azu para matulay ka para muna it's a concept.
Lo magaita izi yung sangan po di Nevada izi manapagpak po do izi ma stabagi na izi maliliit na manapagpak bomba, right? But manapasa istilay. My compensate militar then Asia, Tata, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. So is it based on prior to that night? Even Giniga resolution 178 Guinea 36 Guam legislatura. Is a resolution 178-36 LS Ginin si Speaker Lahi. Pwede a resolution po masapoti yaji dos na lai ginin a Estados Unidos ginin Senate Bill 2798 ginin Senator Mike Crapo then the House Bill H338, ginin Representative Teresa Ledger Fernandez, New Mexico. Manahalom introducing dos na lai amend irradiation exposure compensation act pes manadanya Idaho, Mexico, Colorado, Montana, and Guam. And ingin na resolution pumasapoti na dos na lai dan ginigap the public hearing bula ginigis lata ma-testify izonia kansit dan inutit todo dan masapoti na resolution sa jangan mapasa lai gini Estados Unidos dan hunggan amendment pumatalay ka pumanahalong Guam ingin jangan stabay tautaw ginigis Guam put unanya from 1946 to 1962 dan ma-diagnose uno na cancer or dos na cancer na siya after 1962 sinya manaplikaw po na compensation. So gini amendment pumanai todo yaziman qualify health benefits, free health benefits ingin manlalalam to senior manayam to free health care for cancer. Then $150,000 with partial restitution. And then, the kalantinahong is sinasalapi po tauto sa lani wanabray 500,000 imo po di izomo treatment, right? So is Congreso manaholom is tinalay na po manahatsa ganin 50,000 to 150,000. Then in Masin Patati is a free health care. Then that's where we are today. It took 20 years. And we've been working with a frontline community group from Arizona, from Nevada, which go to Idaho, New Mexico, Utah, and the Navajo Nation. Every Thursday we meet in Zoom. Beginning and we meet in Zoom. We plan. We negotiate. We talk about who to lobby, how our bills are going to be introduced. So we could get all the states involved and Guam. And by the grace of God, ginin si Zuusisti who has Guam, Colorado, Montana, Idaho, and New Mexico. We're still in the bill. Guam is still in the bill. We collaborated, and by the grace of God, they kept us in the bill for this year again. And so, para hamzu ganun ingin Guam mas malagamizo na pun mas na po destin information. Just Google it, then or paisisikin then organit bula na information sinema na like na estilo. So Mr. Kin, off talo sinyo usani po destin na information.
Esti information dan maulik information sa mas klaro dan agang pagu pertaptungo mas podestine lo guahan siya. There's still a lot of research work pajiti kumipendi jasina manalum gi internet ma atan magay half the pursi iparsu ni na nanas tigi 20 anos na tempo lo uno na questionnya angin Gaigio Guahan di 1946 hasta luego 1962 46 to 62 ito na effects na downwinder ang humanomag radiation and it hits land sumaga ha gini da dumanya da toxic waste nista gayi gini magigi sa Guahan angin matumagi but opposite za angin gagyaw za ineffecto sa stabag izum guma ni malufan zigi na dinadyo but sumaga gini magi angin when it reaches land. I guess
Tugan magaito kin sa bula report su taytay dan mapega report na it's na klase na buneno aga sinya mahalam gi tronkun papaza dan i tronkun nizuk dan i tautata makakanu todo ne, right? So sinya manefekta dan i tiba dan i guaka makanu todo sagwan dan ita magigimin todo i letsin i guaka dan tiba. So it's na in a report pesu hasu say lani it's in a tempo lana magigimin letsin guaka dan tiba dan it's fresh water na mungkin sina manafekta na express hunggan magaita.
But sinya benti, it is safe to assume sa sinya magag sinya tasangan na sumaga ha adyo guni ang gimafanyogi tao después in 1962 esta hulo gipago na tempo sinya benti ginin adyo na bumalong masyati mafanyanyago sa pudigay ista i waste i toxic waste if you will or i results of the fallout yang ginasta hindi tungkol papaza dan ni tungkol lemon ni datakakano pues sinya effectively so sinya benti mas muna sa manto na life irradiation 1,000 years before it disappears.
Depende how the class in radiation.
Yeah. But nobody's going to be around to actually know that answer.
Estina upaisin illegal counsel and legislative staff. When we were negotiating the bill prior to them introducing it in September, strontium 90, cesium 137. These are radionuclides from the nuclear testings that are here in Guam at that time. And these two radionuclides have a half-life of 30 years. So from 1962 to 1992, these radionuclides were still here on Guam.
Okay,
so the legal counsel, when they asked me and the downwinders from New Mexico, Idaho to send in requests what to amend within this bill prior to being introduced. So Ofaisen Cosinya Unayet from 62 to 92. So explain na usangani na it's in a anyo Unayet 46 to 62. It's just detonation dates. It's not exposure dates. Periods and exposure dates. The contamination has a half-life of 30 years. So even though you stop the detonation in 62, the radiation is still active here on Guam for another 30 years. So Ufaisin Cosinya Unayet, Moss, all the way up to 1992. Dani, masangani na este besang bingayam zu gilay with Guam na. Bitalaika is a 2 years requirement. Then bingayam zu 1 year to be present on Guam. So about 2 years na. Then the Ochuna lie prior to they took out 3 years, 59, 16, 61. So it was 46 to 58 and the year 61. They took out the 3 years because it was detonation dates. Just explain talo na kusinyo na todo iti 3 years sa landing at and ganon suwa iti 3 years. Half of it siya iti stop it in ginigit sa Guam. You're not gonna what you call that compensate them. Because if I send a legal counsel Cosinya on run it continuous from 46 to 62. Like no said it's 3 years. Pes I said, okay, we'll give you that. We'll run it continuous from 46 to 62. So they gave us 2 and didn't give us the 1. So
okay,
so scientifically, yes. The radionuclides have a half-life of 30 years.
Between 1962.
After 1962, they were still being exposed to the radiation.
kumumohan gwa siya data ni huzong ni available na ino pero maatan maybe based on research kung tumagi yun ni Kuentos Guåhan man matay put concept ni tagano sa natsen ni mapasalista papa ni man mafanyago después in 1962 sa hulog in 1992 para taliya figures data statistics kung man affecta ko gwa kung mas magiging na tempo man ni concept
right
so
lo hita na Jumami abdul in English Jumami strategy. Whatever Congress is giving us, let's take it. I know, it's not up to us. It's not up to PARS. It's not up to our government. Even New Mexico and Idaho were given the same thing, 46 to 62. And so we're hoping and praying that Guam past this bill, so Guam will get into the bill. And once Guam's in the program, who knows? It's the chairman Hobins here, they'll take it up and find another amendment later down the years.
Right. So that's just food for thought. So too much explicit. It's almost finite.
Right.
Got the those news manayo unanya kumukayo gini for 1 year between that period of time. That's just food for thought. Ne often bondagwa statistics ne di pro atan pro justification of finning this. Is look in 92. If I'm mag-uul ni mamafanyago between that period of time, 30 years of life, often naman matay mamafanyago in between that period of time. Long to fa utunga loki nagwa-experience mo didi antes ita huso mesti programa dyan mo lo experience mo loki didi ni anay stabog gi Marshall Islands no anay
right.
Inuit, yeah.
I'm a Inuit cleanup veteran. It's in Masangan, Stabog, North Island. I was on Lojua. I was actual part of the cleanup. I transferred contaminated soil from the other islands to Runit Island on a boat. I drove 20-ton dump trucks. We were every day out there hauling contaminated soil, and we helped drain the Runit Dome prior to it being built. And we were totally contaminated. Right now we have the atomic veterans, and that out of 4,000 of us, there's only like 300 still alive. The rest are all passed away. And so we have a bill in Congress for the Inuit cleanup veterans, and so by the grace of God, keep us in prayer that they pass this bill hopefully this year or next year, and so the people of Guam will receive the rightful compensation and partial restitution, and we're hoping that we could answer a lot of questions. Pwede manamko siya dyan, istisya mamala na, is it man malongo dyan, man bit with cancer dyan, o na klase na tetnot. Conclude na si Jules Masikin por este
podcast. Question na un rato ta, talo.
Okay, está.
Dos na bio no ni kayig pagbato ni pero madiskuti ang gin matutatig session. And both you and I were saying, it probably won't happen until after the holidays. Just in November, pag na mes ne. Lo often a differensya di BOE House than ni BOE kagigi Senate.
No, pareho dos.
Pareho dos, right?
Pareho dos. First time, pareho dos. Everything's the same. And we had a hearing in 2018. I was invited to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Speaker Teresa Lai and I were there. I testified with Tony Henderson, President Ness Navajo Nation, and Tina Cordova from New Mexico. And so we presented our case before the Judiciary Committee, and hopefully they'll carry that over to this bill. And in March of this year, they had a subcommittee hearing on the House and the Judiciary for RICA. And so we're hoping that maybe that will carry over and they'll just take it to the floor and vote on it. So that's how far we've gotten.
Sige ta repeated the grace of God zonggan matugisan magayan and sita ta from manadzud di sa umaatan na gi dinansin na banda ni diniretso no lo malaza antijita hutsu malaga zon bibiosang
lo uno talo kasi niya usani Este programa, it sunsets in July 9th, 2022. Next year, this program ends. Ingin timapases tilay others.
Istigi malika non sangan no. I was not aware of that. Kalantay bingbing ita lang no lo pagun na malik chong na klaro lo ang parata atan isti generation na generation ni mangagi pagwini ng manhobin situ. Maybe that's a good quest for you folks to go out there and try and do this. See Robert Celestial 20 años sa fatutuwi isti the he achieved his goal to a certain degree. The is walk away with a big smile kung magay na mapasas ti antes di Julio na mes gi otrusakan lo atana no David yung Guåhan lo pe mas pero tinagwi si Robert ni request para mas muna ni sinaman manaid ni diretsota ti man manggagawit na ta atan na yan na para manay ni diretsota pes hamjun ni man kung gino ni man hobinsito sen hasu magay estisya artikulo environment manginid manwit magi offers ti na in effect sa pero gagaya sti in effect adjo imatsobi from 1946 to 1962 pero gagaya adjo para up mamam na tempo tasempe talo 40 tempo na Guåhan uno ko mahulo da utsagit sa mundig mo na mas para mas diniretso para tafan manai.
Then in Isita Zulu sa next year we plan to lobby Congress. They all know them they lobby Congress. About
por favor, Robert, ang ginisita Zulu kita gano na klase data no sunik mo na no para tagya mo na para tayo mano na
Gofimpetanti sa July 9 months data na. Dan meninging pago bunga day they ano Washington DC.
We have to start making a move. Yeah.
April, May, senior then they lobby Congress.
Ang
senior mapas.
Right, ang matuto na tempo ng sita adudo fundraising, for example, perhaps, or maybe some sort of anything na tungod that no tanaopan na klase ng informasyon tapega gi Facebook or wherever it's needed then stay mangatong dan ni familia. Umbiay talo Robert mampus no sen no valuable tempo mo so sen nagadisi unay ni stigdidi na tempo no ni tanisita pretana masa claro afagagwa ang gingagaw gimena ni legislatura da kami kuntusaw bula siya formality bula siya no dagwana bay na likod marafan sa befatsun si Robert the must kitagi it's a casual conversation ni para mas pro maekungong ni tauto di pro matungo afagagwa umbay talo dangklo na si Dusmasi para si Robert hamdulo ko ginahutin ni maneekungong sempien ekunguk esti sempien ega esti gi podcast sempien be no open gi podcast it's going to be a video podcast and the tamanu professional Robert very handsome man zanu sempien
na manong quits
tada gua tana open esti dapat ta comprendi mas afagagwa we're running out of time kita ginin na crossing gina stay Julio gi trusakan makpuas ta done and over with it's so it's do or die to say the least gini pesimala data ajuda todo dita tauta data tuniki monasti ni para ta fanaguti kana dat para na tungo na sempre sisu jasu na como mapasa tihita ta ajuda gini magigi Guåhan gi espiritu ni nafamulik idzigi na gaigi magay ifitsata ni para ta assistilo ki otro tauto hindi ponalog Nevada and Montana and New Mexico and Mexico or wherever it may be asuna istigi na tauto sumaunaw wihi ni para na factus tigi ilamasa para kongreso dan man magas sa Washington ni para ta fan manay ni diretsota umbay talo Robert danklon na si Jesus maasi adios aquí Zangin hafon necesita na tungo.
Está. Si Dios más hace, okay, adiós.